Hello, everyone, and welcome to Too Stupid to Live, a podcast about romance novels, usually $5 and under. I'm your host, Becky Feldman, and I hope you have your cowboy hat on because we are headed out to the Wild West. But we're not about to hop on a horse, no. Today, what you are about to ride is a centaur. Yes, we are reviewing a centaur romance where one of the characters is a centaur. Is that a sentence I needed to say? Probably not. But if you're new to the podcast, maybe you just need a moment to process the centaur part of the term centaur romance. Look, it's long overdue. I am glad centaurs are finally getting their much deserved representation on this podcast. They are taking the reins, if you will. And I hope all the centaurs out there feel seen. And I hope my reference to reins wasn't offensive. Today, we are reviewing The Centaur's Bride, a steamy shapeshifter romance by Tamsin Lei. And I couldn't have had a better guest getting back in the saddle, if you will, on top of the horse that is the TSTL podcast. The hilarious Connor Shin is here to help me gallop through this amazing book. We had such a great time discussing it, and you're going to love listening. So mount up and enjoy this review of The Centaur's Bride. Oh my goodness, Connor, welcome back.
Hi.
I am so excited to have you back talking about a non-VC Andrews romance for the first time.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh man, I don't even know where to get started. So when you offered this book, I was just like, holy hell, okay.
Well, have you, because VC Andrews is very much its own thing. It's, it's titillating. Is it really romance?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. But have you ever read a romance that's just like this? It's erotica, it's just sex, craziness, sex.
Sort of, but I've never had it where it was this is kind of borders on bestiality, right?
I think no. Honestly, I've read things that were more questionable than this. I'll be honest.
Okay. Because I was I'm thinking about it. I'm actually no, but then I'm part of it's
Well, I feel okay. So we'll just get right. Let me just say for the bestiality question, I was expecting her to have sex with him in centaur form. She doesn't.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh fuck, centaur sex with a centaur, and if it's pants down, if you will, is that bestiality? That's a question,
I think it's partial bestiality.
It's partial bestiality. These are there's a lot of important questions that came up for me.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to pick next. But when you said centaur, I was because I love Greek mythology, and I know that whoever came up with these creatures, sex is somewhere in there.
Yes,
libido was part of it.
100%. I feel it was libido. It was I feel the Greek people were coming up with these things. Were how do we make a monster? We need to come up with a new monster, guys. And then it's just I know, tentacle arms, bare legs, and then it's just I just picture them in a comedy room, just
what haven't we done? What haven't we done? What haven't
yeah.
Horses.
And it's and what should they be doing? Oh, I know, punishing women for you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're known for carrying women off, and I'm just are horses known for doing this?
Yeah, I am not okay, I could be wrong, but I feel sometimes this world is expecting people to know more about horses than they do. Do you ever live that life?
I mean, I think I have moments where I'm just no, I don't know what Barcelona is like right now. It's just but
mm-hmm.
I guess, okay, I think, I don't know if it's a male thing, but it's just maybe at the time when it was a thing where they're well, if a man is a half horse, of course he's going to be just full-blown rapist. And I'm just a horse? I know horses can be mean, but I don't know.
Right.
They bite and they kick.
But I guess like maybe, and this could be bad, and this could be, and I apologize to all the horses out there, but like I saw like I there was a time in my life where I thought of horses as vehicles, like they were just not like non. Not that they didn't like. I didn't understand I don't understand a horse having a personality, and which is it
Mm-hmm.
sounds terrible, but like just
Yeah.
from my understanding, it was like, oh well, like it was on movies, they were riding them, so they're kind of like cars.
Well, I think well, because I loved horses as a kid, and I just thought of them as these like gentle giants
mm,
that like
mm.
I mean, yeah, they could kick you, you could fall off one, but it never occurred to me like if I became half horse, I would just be a menace.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
Mm-hmm.
never occurs to me, and I think
Yeah.
horse, yeah, like. But then I never raised horses, so what do I know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and like the horses in this book, I imagine, and also all of the horses can turn into people, so that's
Yeah.
probably not what it's like for a real horse these
Mm-mm.
days.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, I guess like I don't know, like I never like I liked My Little Pony growing up, and I liked I don't know, like the kind of epic on horseback kind of thing, but I never was like, oh, I want a horse so bad. Like I never was a horse lover, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I loved ponies and stuff, but I know for me, like centaurs are such a specific, like horrid thing. And I can we just quickly talk about the cover of this book?
Please can we talk about it? Because like that was like actually like I have like a list of things we need to talk about, and the cover is the first thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
we are reviewing The Centaur's Bride by Tamsin Lee. Can you let's talk about this cover, describe the cover, and tell me your thoughts.
Well, okay. It shows a centaur on it, but he has like long model-esque hair covering his head, his face, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like dark and he's chiseled and he looks really brooding.
Yeah.
And the copy on the book says, "Even monsters need a mate."
Yeah, it's true.
I,
Hooked.
I,
I'm in.
yeah, I was just like, first of all, I don't know if that's true, and also I'm like, I don't think whoever did this read the book because that is not the vibe I got at all from this character.
Yeah, like it's I have a hard time my eyes have a hard time not going to where his dick would be and not seeing a dick. And I know that that's like really perverted of me, and like I
No, we're
shouldn't
all thinking it.
we're all thinking it, but it's like kind of like you see the horse hide is similar in shade to his like skin. So you kind of just see like bareness, and you don't he's like like he looks like a Ken doll in a way. Like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like when like he turns into a centaur, his dick moves backwards to where a horse's is, but it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, you like for a second it looks like you're looking at a person with like a really sexy man without a dick, and like that's fine. Like it is what it is. But
Yeah.
like it's just like jarring. It's jarring to me.
It's extremely jarring because I keep like every time there was a sex scene, I was really nervous that he was going to turn into a centaur mid-sex, and I'm like, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
kill this poor woman.
And see, the thing is that I was like, why wasn't there centaur sex? Is that something about me? Am I a bestial?
No, no, I think we were all waiting for it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the fact that they how sexual the book is and how it seems like she's turned on when she sees him as a centaur.
Oh
And
yeah.
so I was like, oh my god, it's coming, oh my god, it's coming, but it never did.
It never did. And what's interesting is that I've actually read another book of this author's who wrote a mermaid romance, and like man and like it's a woman has sex with a merman, and like he just like has a dick like come out, like he doesn't need to like turn into a human. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And so I
yeah,
was like
yeah.
surprised that like, oh, I guess is like, when you're like, well, where's the line when it comes to bestiality? Centaurs.
Hmm. Well, here's what's so crazy. This is so gross, I'm sorry.
I'm so
I
excited for
I
it.
went to the Orange County Fair
Hmm.
and I saw a Clydesdale
Okay.
with an erection, and it's
How
quite
can you
long.
not? Yes, there is nothing to be ashamed of. Look at that horse dick. Look at it.
I didn't want to. I was
N-
with my family.
of course, you're in a situation you can only look at it now. You're with people you shouldn't be looking at a horse stick with, but you have to look at it. It makes sense.
It's practically on the ground. It's that well, because it's a horse. Okay, it makes sense though because like how they have sex and they have a lot of reaching to do.
They do,
They
yeah,
have a lot of
and
reaching
like
to do.
and mounting, which takes a lot of, I would imagine, core strength from of the
Yeah,
horse.
yeah, a lot of mutual cooperation.
Yeah,
So,
communication. A lot of, you have to
synergy,
you got to
synergy.
neigh your consent. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
a lot of yes anding, a lot of zips off.
It's all about improv. Like, thank God all horses take improv classes in order to date.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man, you should see the chairs after they're done with them. Um, but yeah, so the thing is, like, she wouldn't actually have to do that much moving back if he did do that. Is what I think I'm getting at.
Yeah, like I was picturing it as one does, and I was like, oh, she could just like lie there and like the horse would do kind of all of the work, and she would just be feel
Yeah.
pleasured,
Oh
and I'm
yeah.
like, I'm okay with that. Absolutely
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they would have to be careful, but like,
No.
it's just not. Well, she would also have to be a size queen.
Yes. But like there's sometimes like I'm kind of like, I read giant erotica recently, and like
Giant erotica.
one's a giant, the other is just the normal sized woman. And like there is no, obviously no penetrative sex, like it cannot happen, but they find workarounds, which is kind of sexy, and I'm kind of like into that. I think like I kind of like the idea, like if they couldn't have like penetrative sex as a centaur, just like finding other, like being creative.
Yeah, like turning into a human.
Exactly, like that's easy fix. Or if it's just like something like, I don't know, like someone's on the ground and someone's on top, you got
Yeah.
mouth, you've got hooves, you've got hands. Like he has like a bunch of different like appendages he can do stuff with. There's tails, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of
Mm-hmm.
like room for like fun, sexy creativity here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's I think that's nice because it's two people just like really trying to figure out how to make each other happy. And there's something
Yes.
very touching
Yes.
about that.
Honestly, like I think that's what blew me away about it, because I think like that's something that like all relationships have to deal with, of just like everyone is so different, everyone is so nuanced,
Mm-hmm.
communication is key. And so like sometimes you need to read a book where a centaur or a giant has sex with a human woman in order to understand how to
Mm.
communicate what you want.
Oh, you know what? That's a really great metaphor for someone like if they're huge
Hmm.
and the woman's not a size queen, like
Hmm.
how do you even do that, you know?
Yeah, you just like find workarounds. And like there's also like the idea of like, okay, well, penetrative sex isn't the end all be all of like
Mm-mm.
whatever. And it's like,
Mm-mm.
oh, if you kind
No.
of like divorce your mindset from that, and in order to do that, does it take reading a centaur or giant erotica? Maybe it does. It did for me.
I mean, if they're willing to make it work, what's your excuse?
Exactly, like that's like exactly it. I was like, okay, if she can like find a way to just hug a penis, giant penis, with her whole body, and like they're happy, it
Hmm.
should be able to work for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. They're not complaining. Why are you?
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about like it's working together, it's teamwork. But okay, let me just read a quick synopsis of this. So because like we have a ton to discuss about this book.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So all right. So we read A Centaur's Bride, a steamy shapeshifter romance. Okay. Like they say in the Old West, if you climb the saddle, be ready for the ride. But what happens if the saddle is atop Black Stevens, a centaur, or, at least to his herd, a horse shifter who can't turn all the way horse? But Black isn't the only sexy soul facing isolation. Renee is a woman who just inherited this farm from her estranged grandfather that's been a secret sanctuary for the herd of these horse shifters. When she gets a clue that the farm might have secret treasure, she doesn't expect the actual gold to be the fine ass of that hunky cowboy slash centaur. And for Black, Renee may just be the water that he wants to lead his inner horse to. Because when it comes to insta love, you just gotta drink it up.
Oh my god. You have a very good voice for that, by the way.
Thank you so much. If you want me to leave your voicemail away message, more than happy to use
Well,
that voice.
it's just very like Sex in the City. Like, meanwhile, across town, Samantha.
It is my goal. Oh my god, it would be my goal to like if it was like Sex in the City with like Samantha was fucking a centaur, and like and Carrie had another date with the giant man. What were they gonna do?
Oh, now that's a fun reboot. That is a fun
Yes,
reboot.
yes, that would be fun.
Mm.
Okay, so you mentioned that like you really like Greek mythology and centaurs. It felt like I kind of want to talk about like what it's like being a centaur in this book in this world.
Yes, good starting point. Because I do they say the word centaur in this book?
Okay, so they don't, but the human main character does. She's like, "Oh, I guess you're a centaur." And he is like, "Oh, I'm a shifter, but I just suck at it." Or he's not like that, but he's like, "I'm not like the rest of them."
I can't get the faces right.
Yeah. So it's like a bear and then
Yeah,
like an octopus.
he's like that guy from What We Do in the Shadows when he turns into an animal, he can't get the face right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just not clicking for him, you know. So he's like, I'll
Yeah,
just do pants down or waist
yeah,
down.
yeah. I mean, I think it's so interesting because like, do they? Okay, so his mom was a shifter. They think the father was a human,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's why he's only like a centaur who was also a shifter.
Right. Yeah.
Um, that's okay, but no one ever thinks like that. Okay, his herd, who are shifters, they look down on him because he can't get the face right. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
like no one thinks to be like, oh well, he's a centaur.
I know. Yeah. And like there is something like interesting to that. Like, oh, in this world, it's like we only hang with full horses, but we'll let you do our laundry. Yeah, like that's what it's like a mean girls situation, and he's like the
Yeah,
lowest rung. Like he can't run
I
for herd president.
I have like a million questions about this herd, by the way.
Me too. Okay. Let's talk about this herd because like I think it's good to like understand that this isn't like normal werewolf shifters. Like when you're a
No.
horse shifter, you've got different rules, different terminology, different type of like hierarchy, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like there's a leader of the herd that's this female shifter who like bullied her way, even though technically the former leader of the herd was I keep saying Jack Black, Black
Yes. Yeah. I
Stevens'
keep wanting to say
grandmother.
Dan Stevens. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Black. His name's Black Steve. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure. Mhm.
Black. His grandmother was technically the leader, and then for
Mhm.
whatever reason, this new girl is the leader because she's really mean and really fit.
Yeah, yeah. They talk about when this woman is a human. They talk about how oh god, what's the word? Like perky her tits are all the time. Like her like she's just naked because you're naked when you turn from horse to
Yeah,
human. But yeah, it's interesting because it's Black's grandmother who was the lead mare.
yeah.
And not once did she say, "You know what? I'm going to make my grandson's life a little bit easier and tell the rest of the herd to like him like accept him, you
Yeah,
know?"
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
Yeah, everyone here really needs to figure out how to do a will because that's not the only parental figure where I'm just like you could have stopped all of this at any given time. Okay,
Yes.
the herd is living on a ranch that they do not own.
Correct.
It's owned
Hmm.
by a human.
Hmm.
The lead girl's estranged grandfather,
Yes.
who knew about the centaurs, kept them
Hmm.
secret, but for whatever reason, um, did they say like we're working on this ranch for free?
No, it kind of like when I was like looking at it again, it was kind of like, oh, we're staying on the ranch, we're working on the ranch. I got was under the impression that Black was making a paycheck because he's technically a vet because he's like
Yes.
fixing, you know, like being a doctor to the animals.
Yeah.
But like the rest of the herd, like the you know, like Lori and the rest of them were able to live on the ranch in like, it was the sanctuary for them, for they can like shift and not like get noticed by human society.
Okay. Okay.
So he's like kind of letting them stay rent free, not necessarily. I guess like more of a he was like more of a landlord than like, you know,
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
So they were working there, living there, shifting there, but the thing is like now that he's gone, they're like, "Oh no, what's going to happen to us?" And I'm like,
right,
"You're not teenagers at a rec center. You're you're fully adults.
yeah.
Also, why don't you guys just buy your own frickin' ranch?"
I know. It was like a lot of it was like, I don't understand real estate stuff. I'll never understand real estate stuff. I'm never going to own a house. It's fine. But it was like a lot of it was just like, like, do you know, like, oh, no, like it was just like all like she just had to sign something and like it would have been fine. But
Oh
like
yeah.
Lori is like, no, like you have to marry him because then when you're married, the ranch will be ours. And it's like, well, then why didn't he marry the grandfather? Like, it was just like a lot of questions.
Yeah, I was just like this we could have settled this like 30 years ago. I don't
Yes.
understand. It's so strange. Like yeah, like they're like, "Oh, first of all, like uh, okay, so that's assuming the granddaughter keeps the ranch.
Yeah.
And when she first arrives, Renee, she's making like she wants to sell it, and I'm like, "Hey, Heard, you guys think about this?"
Yeah.
Like all they're thinking is you must marry the princess in order to get the land, and I'm like, this is a ranch in Montana.
Yes.
You can,
Yes.
you,
You could just ask.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
ask.
yeah,
Or like when you sell it, be like, hey, can you put in the thing that the horses stay? Like, and that's
yeah,
fine,
yeah,
like all of a sudden it was like, oh no, this is evil. Like it was just like, I don't know. You're right. It was like kind of like someone was like bringing like a gun to a knife fight in a way of like, yeah,
yeah. The stakes were so high, but they really weren't. And so,
no, they did, and
uh,
they didn't have to be.
what was that girl's name? The one who was the leader of the herd?
Her name was Lori, and
Okay,
very problematic individual.
she's
Um,
bad at everything.
she's a terrible leader. She's bad at murder. Like,
Yeah,
spoiler alert. She's because she doesn't even hide it. Like, and she says, "I'm gonna murder someone later. Bye." And it's like you're bad at what you do. You're a
yeah.
bad
Also,
murderer.
she flat out tells Black, like, "Hey, you're gonna seduce and marry that girl," and he's like, "Okay." And then when
Yeah,
he's about to do it, he's like, "So," and she fucks it up. She goes while the girl's there, being like, "So, did you marry her for her money yet?" And being like, "Well, I don't know if I will be able to do that now because you're being
yeah,
weird."
yeah. You're acting like such a weirdo. And like, what does she do? Like, okay, she meets Renee when Renee shows up like with her friend, and she's
Mm-hmm.
and this is under the assumption that Lori at this point, Renee thinks Lori at this point is just purely human. So,
Mm-hmm.
what does who is Laurie to Renee at that moment? Like, does Laurie think like, oh, this is just the woman who lives on the farm? Like, who is like? Do you know what I mean? Like, is she like a manager? Like, what is Laurie or what does Renee think?
I know she like because I know Lori. This is so funny. Lori is not originally from there. She's from
Mm,
the hard streets.
the
You know
city,
where
yes.
where all the shapeshifters are from.
The dangerous streets of the city of shapeshifters. Yeah, she had a bad life. She had a bad childhood. Yeah,
Where was it? Where you were a horse and a human?
and okay, I have another question.
Hmm.
Because like it seems like in this world when you're a horse shifter, you're born a horse and you spend the first few years of your life as a horse. So if she was like growing up in an orphanage in the city, it would have been a horse. She would have been a horse with all these orphans. Like what?
Yeah. So maybe she was one of those like open carriage horses. And she was like, it was horrible. It was horrible. There was trash everywhere. Yeah, the cobble was bad for my feet. And I
Yeah,
had to make a break for it.
yeah,
And so I just, yeah, it was so confusing because like, okay, like one of the reasons I wanted to read this book is because I was like, I'm so curious about the centaur's anatomy. And
yes,
then
of
the
course
book starts with a birth scene.
it does.
And I
Yeah,
was like, I'm so confused by everything right now.
I feel the same way. Like I was expecting like kind of like a modern day Greek mythical retelling. And what we
Mm,
got was a western, like a cowboy western romance.
mm-hmm.
Which is fine, like which I think is fine, but it like I don't know, I guess in my brain like it did take me a second to have to like adjust to the world, you know.
Yeah, I was like, it took me so long to figure out who was human and who was giving birth
Yes. And
because
then
everyone's
yeah,
naked.
everyone's naked. And then you know what else is really confusing to me? And also because again, I am not a Western horse person, like there would be like phrases in there where he would like think about Renee and he'd be like, "Oh, that old filly up to her," or like it would say like, and so I'm like, "Well, is Renee a horse?" That like you can't be like calling some, you can't use horse nicknames on someone who's not a horse in a book where people change into horses because then I'm gonna think everyone's a horse.
Well, maybe that's just him, like his version of code switching, where you
Mm-hmm.
know how some like problematic men they'll call women females. So
Yes,
in his mind, he's used to calling all chicks like fillies.
Phillies. Okay, yeah. So he really needs to like learn and like change his language. But
Yeah.
still, like I was just like, okay, it just like is confusing to me because he's like mentions Philly, but then I'm like, is he talking about Millie who just gave birth, or is he talking about Renee who just pulled
Oh,
up?
that's
You know what I
right.
mean?
Oh, that's right. There was that little colt that just got born.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I was
that's
confused.
that sounds very bad. Now that you remind me of that, that sounds
Yeah,
very bad.
yeah.
Oh, yikes on bikes. Yeah, this is it's so strange because they really do treat it like no one has ever heard or encountered of a centaur before, and
Right.
they treat him like he's some sort of Cronenberg esque creature, and I just like the fact that he is so freaked out over her seeing him as a centaur, not because the idea of centaurs existing is insane, but because
Mhm.
he thinks she'll be freaked out like, oh, he's such a beast, you know?
Yes, yes. Like I did like the idea that like okay, here's the sexiest man on the planet, like ripping muscles. He's helping saving horses' lives, da 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 da, and yet he feels some level of shame. But
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes you need like kind of well, you need like a valid reason to feel this. And I love the idea of him being like, I know I'm so sexy and I could be on the cover of a magazine and da da da, but oh god, I'm hideous. Like I love that. Like great, great. But it was like,
Mm-hmm.
well, like did you go to school? Do you know what I mean? Like do people read? Like did people see Fantasia in 1994 when it came out, re-released, and there were
Yeah,
the horses?
yeah.
Like
Like, have you
what?
heard of the show called Xena, where they're
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like what's our reality here?
yeah. And does he? What kind of porn does he watch?
I know. And like also, yeah, and it's like you didn't even think to like find other centaur. You know what I mean? Like what's your you just like grew up your whole life thinking you were just like a freak, which yes, a lot of people do. I relate, you know, whatever. But like I don't know, just like he was a bit of a pushover, and I'm worried, and I don't know if my criticism of that is because he's the male lead of this book, or is it because he's like maybe is or is his character is fleshed out. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think you're right. I think you're right because someone like Lori, I keep wanting to call her Gabrielle. Lori keeps telling him like you're gonna seduce and marry this girl, and he's just like, okay.
Yeah,
There's no being like it's a big ask to be like, hey, can you seduce this person that just came?
yeah,
And then another, it's even bigger aspect. You're gonna marry this person
mm-hmm,
to
yeah,
secure our housing. That's kind of a
right.
big ask.
You're absolutely right, and like it was almost like it was like the horse herd was like the mob in a way of like, hey,
Hmm.
you want to be a wise guy, you gotta marry this woman. Like
Yeah, yeah. It's I think also because the way he gets treated, I think we're not used to seeing male leads get treated that way.
yeah, I agree. Yeah. And that I think is interesting cuz like, you know, I think it's like, oh, it is interesting to see like a character who isn't fully confident in who they are. I love that. I think that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
But it just was like, well, he also is in a world where it's like, he also has like a brain and stuff, you know?
Yeah, he's a doctor.
Yes,
He's tech.
he went to veterinary school and lived with his roommate was a culinary student. So he
Which,
knows humans. Like he knows stuff.
also, what school was it where they were learning? One was your roommate was learning to be a vet, and you were going to culinary school.
I thought the exact same thing. I highlighted that and I'm like, what school is this? I'm
Le
like,
Cordon Bleu slash. What
look,
school is
yeah,
this?
it's like Jamie's School of Vets and Cooking, like Animal
Because
Hospital slash
those
food.
are those are both special schools.
Yeah.
Like in college, my roommate was like, I don't know, a philosophy major. She wasn't going to culinary school or veterinary school.
Yeah. And it was like, well, what was the rooming situation? Where did you go to school? Like, I could see it. Did you go to school in a big city where there's a bunch of different schools and you found this apartment and you were like, oh, that's interesting. You're living with someone who doesn't do anything like that you're interested in. You meet new people. But we get to this point because he like they go on like a camping trip and he packs like a really good picnic and he's like, oh well, my roommate in college was like in culinary school. And I'm like, okay, I lived with good cooks in my life. I didn't pick anything up. Like, that's not an excuse. Like, that's not a reason.
No, no. Also, like, you're in school, you're a college student, like, you taught him on your hot plate how to do all of this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like, if by that logic, my roommate in college was on the volleyball team. By that logic, I would be a volleyball player. And that makes
yeah,
no sense.
yeah. I'm like, I don't have a music theory degree. I don't recall any of this. We don't teach each other our crafts. That's not how this goes.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's not like, oh, you're just like if you're living next to someone with a certain skill, you just by proximity pick up their skill.
Yeah, no, that's not. Mm-mm,
I
mm-mm.
wish that'd be
I mean,
cool.
that would be great, but
Yeah.
sorry.
Very, very funny.
Also,
Yeah.
chefs don't, when they're on their own, they don't eat what they're working on. They eat like raccoons, you know.
Exactly. They eat like snacks. So while they're
Hmm.
still, yeah, yeah. And he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I had a lot. They had a lot of leftovers," and I'm like, "I don't think they did."
No, no, I don't see that happening.
No,
Two
no.
college dudes?
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, oh
No,
man, bro, I got all these leftovers. Like, no,
no, no.
no.
Oh, these truffles, I'm so stuffed.
Yeah, like, oh god, look at all these beef medallions. Oh man.
No, 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 no,
No,
no. You're
no.
scarfing that shit down.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That, oh my god. Okay, okay. I need to discuss
Yes.
Renee.
Yes, let's do it. Okay. You brought up a good point of people not knowing how to write wills. And one thing that she receives in her will is like from her will is it basically her grandfather wrote this will to leave the farm to her, but he wrote it in poem form, which is the funny like I just was like, okay, I know someone who's a trust administrator and like does this stuff. And so I was just like picturing like him meeting with like doing like documentation and being like, I'd like to do this in the form of a poem, please, before I die.
What lawyer okayed this?
I know. Yeah. It was like, all right, I sign off on this. Like, this is full legal.
Like it's like it's is it even a poem so much as just like something you would put on a pillow or
Yes. And like, okay, this is the poem. I wrote it down. It's the ranch holds a treasure deep under cover. Tolaman's secrets are yours to discover. Guard it with care and love it with spirit. Once you gain their trust, you'll no longer fear it. That's in the will, not like, oh, I'll leave my Scottish couch to my grandnephew or something.
also like well that literally tells you nothing. Like that could literally be the opening statement for an Airbnb. Like it's just it
Right. Yeah.
okay.
And it's like the point of wills is to like be really specific and clear about like what you want your last what you want. So you have so it's like the language. This isn't the place for flowery language and cryptic poems. It's not like, so again, like you said, what lawyer was like this? Yep, this is good
Yeah.
estate planning.
Yep. Good to go. If I were Lori and I saw this, I'd be like, I think we're fine because how can we literally, like, we could argue that we are the treasure and have to stay here.
Yeah, yeah.
Or we could argue that the gold is this is such a stupid will that no one's gonna use this against us.
Yeah, also it's a rhyming will. Like, I mean, like, what, like, are you really gonna go into, like, what is civil serve, like, court, dealing with the judge and all this stuff, and you're literally reading a 4-line poem?
No,
Like,
no, no. And it's just like uh, imagine writing that and just the amount of work that went into it. And
I can't even think of words when I have a cold, and yet this person wrote a poem as they're dying. Like, that's just, like, insane to me. It's like, you know what? Rhyming meter.
also, how pissed off would you be if you were part of the herd and you found out that's how they left their will? Like, this
Yeah.
isn't like the legend of Curly's gold. Like, we're all going to be homeless if you don't figure this shit out.
Yeah, and it's like, you, like, really, like, in throughout this, you have, like, Renee and Black holding their grandparents in, like, really high esteem, but it's like they didn't do a good job at what they were supposed to do.
No,
Like, they
and
didn't protect you at all.
yeah. Also, how bizarre is this? Your grandfather died while riding your lover's grandmother in her horse farm.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
do we think they were lovers?
I thought that. I definitely thought that they were, like, out on a run. That I thought that they were lovers, and then I was like, oh my god, are they going to find out that they're cousins?
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. And I was like, that would be weird. But what if they were?
I mean, well, okay. So it's so it'd be second cousins because that's the grandmother. So that would mean his, not Jack Black. Black Stevens's mom is the cousin esque.
Yes,
Or
of
uh,
her dad.
yes, yes. So they would be like second cousins.
So they would be second cousins.
Well,
Okay,
Montana. It's Montana.
it is Montana. You're absolutely right. So maybe, you know what? Maybe I wanted them to be cousins. Okay.
But I think because I really thought that they were gonna, because it seemed like it. Maybe I'm being gross, but
You're not.
you're okay. A lone man on a farm riding his favorite horse that he knows damn well can turn into a naked woman at will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They
They're fucking.
they had to have fucked, right?
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? Like,
I would fuck just to be like, I need to know what this is going to be like out of sheer curiosity.
yeah, I'd be like, okay, like, you like, okay, we live in a big city, and, like, we find people we're attracted to based on, like, who's around us. If you are around a bunch of, like, horses and farm people, that's who you're gonna form attractions to them. And
Yeah.
and yeah.
You're literally riding her every day.
Yeah, every day. And isn't that weird, where it's like, you can shift into a horse and you're like, you know what, I think I'll just work, like, you know what I mean, like, oh, you know what, I think I'll just, like, be, like, enslaved to this human who's using me to get
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you know what, I want if I were a shifter, I would turn into a car and have someone just drive me until I'm tired, and by the end
Yeah.
of the day my back hurts.
Yeah, and like hope he doesn't kick too hard or pull too hard on the reins.
Yeah, yeah. Or it's just like, like, are they feeding well? And can I ask a really another question? And this is one, and I'm so sorry I thought this, but I thought it and I wrote it down. But I was like, how do you think the horse shifters, and this includes Black, do they prefer to shit as horses or humans?
I mean, have you seen horses shit?
Yes, I have. So, but like, okay, because you know how, like, horses can just, like,
Yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Are they like that as humans? Like,
Oh,
hold on.
oh. I think they prefer horse, honestly.
Okay. Okay, so let's say you're a horse and you're in the
Hmm.
middle of the woods and you're like, I have to shit so bad. Like, do you just like shit in horse form, or do you like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until I like
Dude,
become a
I
human.
the few times I went horseback riding as a kid, horses when they shit, they don't even stop walking.
I exactly like for me, from my understanding, it was like they don't even notice. It's like sneezing almost of like do do do.
Hmm.
Oh, I'm shitting, blah blah blah. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, do you what's your shitting? Oh, what's your one-to-one shitting awareness when you're human?
Because like, well, the thing is, like, also horse poo is like when you look at it, it's like mostly hay,
Yeah,
and it's not super stinky like human poo, because
no,
it's
it's like
not.
mud.
Yeah, it's like little. It's like someone took a bale of hay and just mixed in some mud with it. It's
Yeah,
not the worst thing you've ever smelled.
it's not. Yeah, it's not the worst. It's just like the fact that like they do it so effortlessly or not. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming all horses have great digestion given the way I've seen them all shit, and so maybe
Hmm.
I would prefer just digestion wise to be able to have that freedom. But
Yeah.
it is weird. I don't know why I thought of this, and like I definitely thought, when Black is a centaur, does he shit and he has to shit, does he turn back into his human form, or does he shit as a horse?
Oh, that's a great question.
like I like that would be honestly, if my boyfriend turned out to be a centaur, that would kind of be the first question I would ask.
Well, because like you don't want to have like a romantic moment in the park with him, and all of a sudden you're like, "Are you shitting?"
Yeah, like
That,
exactly, like there's such a great moment because I think it is really sexy when she's like riding him
yeah,
like a
yeah,
horse. She's holding him. It's kind of like, I really liked that moment because it's kind of the cross between being on someone's motorcycle and riding a horse. You're kind of gripping their thing.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
I was thinking, what if he just shat?
yeah. And the thing is, like, they don't even like. It's not even like a thought to them. So he could like, they could be like reading their vows at the altar, and he can just be like pooping, scooping, and just not even blinking an eye.
Yeah, and I'd be like, you want to? Would I want to marry that? Or do we have these rules of like, hey man, you got to be human if you want to shit? Like, what's
Yeah.
happening? At least around me.
Oh, or yeah, just don't do it in front of me. I think that would be the rule. Just don't do it in front of me, because
Yeah.
I don't think the other horses would mind.
No, of course
So
not. They're doing it, you know.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think just seeing a centaur shit, I'd be like, and like, is he making a face while any of it's happening? Because like,
Exactly. Like my biggest fear would be like, okay, I'm bringing him home to Thanksgiving and they're like meeting my parents or something, and then like he's doing a thing and just shit just plops down on the ground. Like that, what a nightmare that would be. And you'd be like, I thought I was in Centaur form. Fuck. Like that happens when I get nervous.
it's like, could you excuse me for a second? And
Yeah.
oh my god, oh, I didn't even think. Oh, and this is dumb, but I wonder if he makes a face while doing it. I don't know.
Oh, of course.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like a
Like a wince.
yeah.
Yeah, like a shit wince.
like when a baby does.
I just want to thank you so much for amusing me with this scenario because like shitting was the first thing that came to my mind of like
No,
how
it
does he
makes
shit?
no,
Yeah.
no, because these are the questions we need to ask. Like, because we're all thinking about anatomy,
Yes.
and within the book, there are several times when Black goes like, because he's a private person, which is bizarre for the rest of the herd because they're so used to doing everything right in front of each other.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I bet pooping is a thing with him.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Like they could be having meetings where like Lori is like, Black, you have to marry her, and there's just like plop, 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 and like and he's still like, I'm gonna listen to what she has to say. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I'm not confused at all that your tail is just like wafting poop everywhere.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fine.
And it's like, if someone was talking to me and their tail was wagging at the same time, I'm just like, where, who, what am I? This, I don't know what to pay attention to you.
Oh god. Oh man. I wish I could say that. Well, at least the character of Renee made super sense, but
She did not make sense. And I definitely want to talk about her relationship with her BFF, Steph.
my god.
Steph
Oh,
was the worst.
Steph was like three characters from three different rom coms melded into one in like an in an angry way.
Yes, very angry way, and like not a good friend. Like
No, no.
terrible friend. Like they first when she like gets to when Renee gets to the farm and like they first you have the first look they first notice and like
Hmm.
Steph is like dibs if you don't fuck him dibs and also I say dibs tomorrow and like it was just like kind of like a mean girl. It kind of mirrored the relationship with Black and Lori in a way of like
Yeah.
yeah.
Like they're both being bullied slash pushovers. Like on the one hand, like because the character of Steph, she's supposed to be like an influencer, she's supposed to be rich, but she also loves doing like stunts where she jumps off like towers in Dubai and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of stupid, but Renee apparently is going broke because following and mimicking Steph's lifestyle is like bleeding her dry. And I'm like, hey,
Yes.
genius, stop doing it.
I know. This blew my mind because like there was a moment where like Steph wants to leave and like Renee's like I can't go with you this time and she was like listen you can pay me back. So it's like wait a minute. What kind of friend? I'm sorry. But like if I were really rich and famous and I wanted to do stunts and bring friends along with me, I would never ever expect them to pay me back. That is
Yeah,
so cruel.
especially if I knew that they totally couldn't afford it. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like we'll form a payment plan. It's fine. It's like first of all, they don't have to fucking go if they can't
Yeah.
afford it. And second, if you're going to insist that they go with you to Dubai, how about you pay for it, genius?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, what are you think you were? And I'm like, terrible. This is a terrible
And
friend.
and on top of that, her being like, "Oh, I can't go because like I just got here to my dead grandfather's ranch yesterday. We're still
Yeah.
sorting it out," and she's just like, "Are you gonna fucking go or not?" And I'm just like,
Yes. Like,
"What?"
she's like, oh my God, like, why are you staying for some dick? And it's like, she has to deal with a will written in a poem. That's like months.
Yeah,
Like,
you got here yesterday. This is a dead family member. I don't I don't know what part you're.
like, who are you? Like, I understand the idea. Look, I understand the idea. Like, we all have had like we've had toxic friends in our life. Like I think it's like a very common thing to just like be friends with someone who like maybe you have those experiences of like
Yeah, yeah,
someone that like okay you're not maybe they're not the best person to be around
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like there's still like nuances like there's a reason why you become friends with them in the first place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But this one, I was just like, this woman hates you.
Yeah, like she's
Like,
the word. How did you meet?
yeah, I'm like, what is. Do you guys have fun? It doesn't sound like you guys do. And like,
Yeah,
she kept saying dibs and dibs. And I'm like, do you. Are you going to let this go? This is getting weird.
yeah.
And then, like, okay, at first when she came out, like, because she was super, like, selfie, all this, where's the Wi Fi, blah, blah, blah. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like, she sees Black. She's like, oh, look at that sexy cowboy dick over there. And at
Mm-hmm.
first I thought, oh, she's the best friend in the rom com. She's supposed to be the lewd one who makes jokes. She represents the part of the audience that's, like, lustful and, like, ha
Mm-hmm.
ha ha, kiki king about it.
Yeah.
But then she took a dark turn where she's just like, I still might fuck him anyway. And I'm just like,
It's like
wait, I
you
thought you
need
were
to
guys were
leave.
friends.
Exactly. That is, and that just that I was like, oh, I even wrote down like, oh, she's the worst. And then she does something where we have like our first makeout scene, which I will say, all the sex in this stuff, all the makeout stuff, loved. I thought it was really horny, really hot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It gets their first kind of like kiss slash makeout scene gets interrupted because she is taking a picture of them with her phone, and that is disgusting. I'm like, she needs to leave. Like that is I would stop being friends with someone. That's like
What was the point of that?
I think she was like cuz like oh my friend finally got laid, let me get a picture of it and it's like that's a crime. You're doing crime. That's a big crime.
It's a massive crime. Also,
Yeah.
like, what did you think her reaction was going to be? Like,
Yeah.
not
Also
being like, yeah,
it's
that's
terrible.
yeah, like one just way to destroy the moment.
Yeah.
Two, I have you never had a friend before? What's going on?
Yeah. And it's like, and there's paparazzi following you around because you're famous. Like, why
Yeah,
are you, and you have your, I'm sure you wouldn't want, like, what
yeah. I don't.
boyfriend?
What the Logan Paul is this girl up to? Like, she is just so, she's so heinous and like
Awful.
she's trying to like at any she is. It seems like she's like trying to like bulldoze, but also like kind of humiliate this girl
Mm-hmm.
Renee whenever she gets the chance. And part of me is like, why did you even come with her to her dead grandfather's ranch?
Yeah. Like, what
This
are
doesn't
you,
this doesn't seem fun for you.
yeah, like what were you like what was your intention? You like
Mm-hmm.
you're an influencer and you're like I'm going to spend one day in Montana. Like what does that mean? Like
Yeah.
what content were you trying to get?
Yeah, like this isn't a skyscraper. It's not the playa at Burning Man.
Mm-mm.
This
No.
is a ranch in Montana.
Yeah, with like yeah.
Yeah,
What's
with
your
your
deal?
friend. With your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah, her she was psychotic. Like all the non-lead female leads were just like, if they weren't like the grandmother, they were like, you're not gonna suck his dick because I will.
They were all awful. And
Yeah.
like they and I guess maybe that was supposed to make Renee as a character look good, as like it's like instead of like giving Renee like cool qualities, which I think we could have seen. They were
Yeah,
like,
that'd have been
oh
nice.
yeah, I'll make everyone around her like terrible.
Just heartless. Just a walking psychopath.
Walking psychopath.
Yeah, and yeah, because like Steph like eventually bails because Renee gets forced to be like, hey, not only can I not afford to skyscrape jump off of Dubai, I think I should stay here and deal with my dead grandfather's estate.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
she's
like
like,
an adult.
yeah, she's like, how can you are so selfish? Like it was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I just like, how old is Renee supposed to be?
25.
That is way too old to be having friendships like this.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
like, that's like 19-year-old. Even then, that's pushing it.
Yeah, no, that's like high school stuff. Like, because Steph is like, if Steph, let's say Steph is the same age, she's 25
Hmm.
and she's doing that stuff, that's like psychopathic. Like, that's sociopathic.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. I like, I'm so curious about why the characters got written this way, because part of it's like, you know how sometimes characters get written because like, oh, we need to push the plot forward to this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Part of me was like, I don't know if this helped that much.
I don't think we like even needed her as like we who was what was the like kind of with Lori we kind of get the point because it's like deals with Black's backstory and like who where he fits in the world, but like Steph in terms of Renee's backstory like doesn't like where what was the point of her, like what was like I didn't understand the reason why she was in the story.
Well, I mean, I guess she's kind of a party girl, Renee, because she reveals that she's never had a real job and that she
Okay.
was kind of living off of some sort of settlement or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the
Mm-hmm.
thing is, like, she burned it all by doing these stupid streaming trips with Steph.
Mm-hmm.
And what's so strange is that, like, she acts like this, like, coy city girl, but she grew up on the ranch.
Yeah, she knows farm stuff. Like she had a
It,
horse named Cookies.
yeah, and then so when Black tries to take her horseback riding, she come out in stilettos or something stupid.
Yes, she wears sandals.
Yeah, and I'm like, you grew up with horses. You know this is a bad idea. Why would
Yeah.
you do that?
Even I know, as a non-horse person, know that you have to wear something with heels when you go horseback riding. And if
Or
I know
yeah,
that, she should have known that.
yeah, closed-toed shoe.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like if a horse was to step on your toe through sand. Oh no 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 no
No.
no.
Ooh. And so, okay. So basically, what happens is like he ends up giving her some boots to wear. So she's wearing his boots. And she doesn't like, and a whole sequence of events happens where they're being chased. She discovers he's a thing. They have sex, this and that. They're walking there, they're camping there the whole time. Um, all of this was happening when she was wearing shoes that were too big. And I'm like, that's
Oh yeah.
wild to
Yeah. Yeah, because
me.
throughout the book they keep being like, "Oh, she's so petite and small with her elfin-like features. She's so
Yeah.
petite and small. He could pick her up easily, and he's so like tall, dark and handsome, so tall and stacked." And then like they shared a pair of shoes and I'm like, either he's a size 5 or she has like extremely large. It
Just
would look
randomly large feet. Like,
like
if,
a,
yeah.
yeah.
If I wear shoes that are like a half size too big, I would trip every 5 seconds. Like it'd be hilarious. And it's like she is running through the woods. She trips like once, and I mean does hurt herself, and it's like okay, but like
Yeah.
just there's no like. The only time she trips is when she's wearing normal shoes. Like
Yeah. I was like, unless these are magic boots or something, like
yeah.
even Doc Martens, I'm like, if it's one size too big, those things are falling off of you.
Yes, like if there is room like above your toe, that like your sideshow Bob, like you that's like
Oh, yeah, I forgot that he was like, "Oh, hey, here, just take my boots," and I was like, "Your boots?"
yeah, like what? That makes no sense.
Yeah, because you're huge. She's, as we established several times, teeny tiny,
Yeah.
and
And also the house is right there. It's not like she got in her car and like came like it's like her house is 2 feet away, and she said she's like, oh, maybe should I wear my blah 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 or whatever, go to the store, like do something, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Also, like she was acting kind of like flirty and like ditzy during this scene in a way I did not like.
She definitely like dumbed herself down in a way where like yeah, it was like kind of like no, you should just be like you kind of want to, if like we were giving her advice like be yourself, you're
Yeah,
fine.
he's already into you. You don't have to cutesy it up.
Yeah, you
You,
don't.
you tiny, tiny, petite woman with
Yeah,
pixie-like features.
you're a tiny woman with pixie like features. um that said though, like when we got to the sex, like I really enjoyed it. Like I
Oh yeah.
enjoyed, it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
There was one moment where like they described him as like, I don't know, he would say this one line of like apparently like horse shifters have like really good ears and really good noses, and he's like, I can smell when you want me. And like I was like, cool.
That's pretty hot.
Very hot.
Yeah.
Um, there was a moment where he was like doing a plank above, like he was doing a plank above her, or like doing a push up above her, which was
Yeah.
so funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciated it. I appreciated like all the little details of like lifting her pelvis up and stuff to go
Mm-hmm.
harder. I appreciate what was it? Yeah, it was a lot of like, I will say it's been a while since I read erotica this level.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I was texting Courtney Hyde the whole time while I'm reading this, being like, oh my God, this book might have too much sex because everything gives this guy a rager.
he, I am surprised he didn't have to go to the hospital.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Every time he had a, even thought about her, like instantly so hard. And I'm like, are
Yeah,
you okay?
because like he can sense her miles away, so the boner starts before she even knows he's in her periphery. So
Yeah, like, yeah.
poor guy.
I'm just like, is this, you're an adult man. I
Mm-hmm.
don't, this doesn't seem, I mean, I guess it's flattering,
I guess
but
it's fine. I just like want him to be comfortable though. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's just like, I was like, I'm like, maybe if I was a teenager, I was like this, maybe. But yeah,
yeah,
everything gives him a rager. And I love little moments that reminded me this is made for the female audience
sure.
because not only would he get a rager, but the thought of her possibly getting railed by one of the other horses made him just like seethe with
Yes.
jealousy.
Yes. It was like he definitely was like very like feral in that way and like very
Hmm.
protective, kind of as if like it was he like you know how like I feel like you see that with like a lot of like werewolves, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and so he did have that element to it of being like very territorial.
Hmm. Yeah, he was just like, because there's this other shifter. Is his name Saul?
Saul, his uncle Saul.
Yeah, who's like older but also extremely down, I guess.
Yeah, like he okay, it's from my understanding it seemed like he was the lead bachelor of the herd, so he was like the lead man, the lead
Okay.
male.
Oh, okay.
And so but also he was still like under the thumb of Lori though.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So he was like their stud, I take
Yeah.
it.
Their
And
stud, yeah.
yeah, and so it's very strange. Like there's this whole dynamic where like cuz you see Saul as a horse, and then when they're trying to pick which horse to go horseback riding with, like Black is like, "No, don't go for that one." Like meaning his uncle.
Yeah.
And
I don't want him to be yeah, I don't want you to fall in love with him.
yeah, or just like, I don't know, get railed by my uncle. And then but there's this weird thing later when they confront her as their form. Like the uncle like sniffs her. It's like, "Ugh, my nephew's gotten to you already. No, thank you." And I'm just like,
Gross. Disgusting.
it's weird
Yeah.
you could smell that.
It's weird they can smell that. It's weird that, like, by this logic, when a human gets on top of a horse, does the horse think they're in love with them? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, because that's what it's equating to of like, is the horse turned on?
I don't because okay, piggyback ride. Is it like a piggyback ride?
Right.
But well, thinking in terms of like mass, like it'd be like
Hmm.
giving an 8-year-old a piggyback
Yeah.
ride.
Yeah. Like, what is that? Yeah. You are just a vehicle. You're a vehicle.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they are straddling you, but they're like it's like um
But I mean, yeah, like but it's not, you're being utilized as a vehicle. You're not like,
yeah.
there's nothing like sexual about it. I mean, unless it was like he was jealous of just Saul spending time with her, like
Mhm.
that. Okay, I understand. Like you had a day planned out or whatever.
Mhm.
But like he was like, oh my god, you better not fuck her. And I'm like, she's riding him as a horse.
There's going to be a lot of splaining to do if he does want to fuck her. Like a lot of
Yeah,
splaining to do because he would have to turn into a human and be like, "By the way, you've been riding me all day. Would you like to
yeah.
keep going?" It's
Like,
just
you
yeah.
want to ride in a different way, and she's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm sore as fuck from the
Yeah.
horseback
Yeah,
riding.
because although I grew up on a ranch, for some reason I have no clue how to ride a horse now. It's very
Yeah,
strange.
very strange. I will say that there was a horse fight scene like
Mhm.
towards the end when like okay, it was like Black is fighting as a centaur and
Mhm.
Lori is fighting as a horse, and I was like, this horse fight is pretty cool. Like they were just like horse kicking each other and stuff. That
Yeah,
was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, like she would turn around and get like back kick, and he would just front kick.
It was really cool.
It's fun. I'm like, if this was a movie, I would have so much fun during this scene.
Oh, it would have been like I loved reading it. Like, and I was like, I'm
Hmm.
sure like it was. I had as much fun reading it as I did with the sex scenes.
Yeah, it was so virile and so, I don't know, like exciting.
Yes, it
And also,
was.
isn't Renee like also writing on Black as this is happening?
Yeah, she's just and she has very good balance. She's just holding on to his bare torso.
Yeah, but
Oh, we got to talk about that picture.
yeah, okay. So there's a scene when she's writing him, but
Hmm.
then they mention that he grabs her legs to hold on to her while
Yes.
she holds on to him while
Hmm.
he's bucking and
Yeah.
fighting Lori, and I that made me laugh so hard. I was like, I must draw this.
Which you did, and I am looking at it right now. Let me see if I can share my screen because you did such a great job. You did such a great job with
Oh, thank
this.
you. Yes.
You did a remarkable job with this. I love
uh
like I part of me is like, oh my god, I want to like send this to the author, but I won't. But
I mean, it's flattering. It's what happened. It's
yes.
yeah. And if you yeah, like cuz the thing is at first I was like, "Oh, I should draw her looking scared," but I'm like, she is scared, but she's
No.
also kind of excited.
She is like, honestly, like if I were in that like world, I would be having fun too. Like
Mhm.
I think that like our lives are so like monotonous and
Mhm.
like so just like the idea of like having any, even if it was like a life or death fight and I'm on a centaur, like I'd be like,
Yeah.
this is pretty fun. Like,
Yeah, I'm having this is the best day of my life.
yeah, like this is not like, okay. One time, when I was in college, like my friend hurt herself, and like we had to take an ambulance to the emergency room, and like yeah, it was like really scary, but it was like really fun being in an ambulance. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, ooh,
Yeah.
look how fast we're going. Like look at the lights, and it's like oh, I was not aware that like she I mean like was bleeding. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, but no, it's exciting. It's
yeah.
exciting.
But I love his face. He has
Yeah,
that serious face. He has his
yeah.
hat on.
Mhm. Yeah, because there's a part
Yeah.
where he says he mainly feels naked when he's not wearing his hat.
Okay. I have a question for you because I'm like they don't mention hat hair, which is like very much a real thing that I'm self conscious of like if I am wearing a hat in front of another person, they are not going to see me take it off. And
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, oh, he doesn't get hat hair? Like,
Maybe
what?
he does, and that's
And he's
well,
still sexy. And he's still sexy.
he's still sexy. I think for him, taking the cowboy hat off is more of like part of the uniform, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's a
yeah,
sign of like vulnerability, like when.
yeah. But yeah, he never not has that steely gaze,
Yeah.
never not super intense and focused. And
Mm-hmm.
he learns to trust Renee pretty quickly.
Yeah. 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 Like, and he like is, and she learns to like, she gets around, like, of course, there's like the reveal of like, oh, I'm a centaur. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, you have the whole thing. And she turns around pretty quickly. Like, they have sex the next day. Like, there's no
Yeah.
like, it doesn't take her too long to kind of get on board with it.
This whole story happens very quickly. It's like what, 3 days?
3 days, and they say I love you, like even without like Lori's interference. They're like, after they have sex one time, they're like, I think I love you, and like I think I love you too,
Yeah.
which was beautiful.
I mean that hey, when you feel it, when you know you know.
When because like they were talking about like, I guess like horses have like life mates or whatever, and
Mm.
so like, oh, it seemed like when they, because like there was a time, like the first time they had sex, he's like, man, like he was like, what just happened? And she's like, you never had an orgasm before? And it's like, no, they had like a magical,
Oh yeah, there's like energy that
yeah,
happens, like
yeah,
mystical.
yeah, so it was like beyond sex.
Yeah, and then he goes, "Oh, it's so unfair," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Relationships." Becky, what would you do if a guy said that to you during bed?
Oh man, relationships. I don't. Okay, like sometimes I feel like I'm a guy in that respect, where I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and like I'm just like, am I what? Like, am I terrible?
No,
Like,
I think well, because I think the way he worded it was just so almost childlike that
yes.
it like it's a little disarming. Like even if you're really into this guy to begin with,
Hmm.
like for him to be like, oh, love is just so hard after the first time you guys within 24 hours having hooked up, it just being like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, breathe,
Like,
buddy, you
hang
know.
on a second. Like, I do you watch Summer House on Bravo?
No, but I do know what it is.
Okay, well, like there's a storyline where like, that like, oh, this season where it's like a woman is with a man, and she's like, relationship rules, da 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 da, and he's like, was like, wait, what? Like, I'm just like dumb the whole time, and like oddly enough, like I feel like I would be him in that scenario of like, I, like, why are we talking about what? Like, like I would want to like for me I would need a good year of just casual having sex before I even bring up
Hmm.
this word, especially if like I'm dealing with a death in the family. I have like a farm to deal with. Like I don't need to bring on, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Also,
this is a
this
lot.
is all happening while they're camping and they're outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's too much simulation happening.
She just had a fight with her best friend, even though even though it's good that like she
Yeah.
doesn't,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
still like there's like a lot of like heightened shit happening, and it's like
Yeah.
I cannot talk about a relationship right now.
Yeah. Like what happens on this ranch is gonna stay on this ranch. Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so
Like let's
sorry.
leave this. Like, can we leave this like ranch centric? It's not, I'm not saying no, but I'm not. I'm just saying not right now.
Yeah, it's so just like even though he's been tasked with seducing and marrying her, it's kind of stupid because like he clearly is in love with her. He clearly thinks that there's a special connection. No
Hmm.
one's hotter than her.
Yeah.
And um I don't know. It's okay. Um but the way they do that show it in the book is just so campy.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think that's why for me I was a chuckling a little bit,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
like a mean little boy.
Because it was like funny because Laurie's like, you're gonna seduce her whether you like it or not. And he's like, I like it. Like, you're
Yeah, I was gonna.
you're like, why are you pressuring me to keep doing the great job that I'm doing? I'm doing
Yeah,
better than you are expecting.
yeah, like you're getting in the way. Actually, like I
Yeah,
mean,
actually, like you messed everything up when you said that.
yeah, like
Like you
I
said.
have a rager just looking at her,
Yeah.
thinking about her. My nostrils flare thinking about her with my uncle. It's
Yeah.
just so yeah, like he does not have a lot of conflict. I
No.
argue, but I also
No.
argue he's not the lead character. So
Right. He's I didn't really know who the lead character was.
I mean, I dare you to name something Renee learned.
I mean, she learned that there are all of the horses on her farm this whole time could be humans.
But what's so fucked up is just like that we're not even sure if that's what this grandfather's poem is referring to.
Yes, you think that it's referring to gold, which that never gets resolved. So, like, I'm like, oh, is there going to be like a second book where they find the gold? Or like, I mean, I know it doesn't matter. They're going to find the gold, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a lot of like unanswered questions that really don't matter, but they do.
Yeah, yeah. Because the thing is, like, Black is asking Saul, like, so the poem, like, what is that referring to? And Saul's like, I'm assuming us. And
Yeah.
then later, Lori is like, no, we found gold on the property once. I wanted to mine it, but he said no, and
Hmm.
so he had to die.
Yeah. And it's like, what? Wait, and also what was really funny is that like people were just like driving up and they're like, who are you? I'm the miner. I'll come back
Yes,
tomorrow. Boo, 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 boo. And they're like, what's going on? And
yes,
she's like, that the gold. You
yeah.
got me.
It's so crazy because like Lori called everyone in the Yellow Pages, being like, "Hey, can you come inspect us for gold?" They
Hmm.
show up like they were in the neighborhood, and then at one point she pulls a gun on one of them. She's like, "Come back tomorrow."
Yeah. Here was another thing is that at one point during the final chase, when like Lori is literally chasing Renee, like going to kill her, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The realtor drives up and Renee like goes up to the realtor. She is running for her life and she's just like, I think I'll keep the farm. And like and wasn't like and then he just like turns back around and like goes away and she just continues on her run for her
Yeah, 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 yeah,
life.
yeah, yeah. Like not being like, by the way, let me in, and also call
Can
the
you
police.
yeah, like can you help me? It's like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sign anything, thank you, okay.
yeah, yeah. Like that would not selling the farm would be like thought number 8. I would
Yes.
be like, let me in the car. Do you have a
Yeah.
gun?
Yes.
Cool. Call the cops and give me the gun.
Yeah.
There's a horsewoman about to kill me.
Exactly. And they're like, oh my God. But Laurie does get her comeuppance in the
Mm-hmm.
end where she
Yeah.
gets injured and it's like
Gone with the
it
Wind style.
yes, yes. She's given a choice. Like Renee seems like she's gonna be the become the new lead mare, even though she can't be a horse, but she just like takes on ownership
Uh-huh.
because she's decided to own the farm.
Yeah, and it turns out she's got leadership skills.
This whole time, who would have thought?
Yeah, and the black is just like so proud and being like, "That's my filly."
Yeah. And it's like, but wait, so is she a horse then?
Yeah, because like she starts barking orders at the herd, and they're like, "All right," and then black is just like, I have a new boss now," and
Yeah.
it's
And it's
just
like, what? Like, Black, you were fucked over by so many people. Please, you could aim higher.
yeah, like black. Maybe we should get some of this in writing because
Yeah.
I feel like you still have no rights. You are a doctor who is broke and is
Hmm.
dependent on many aggressive women.
Yes. And you are just like feeling shame for some really random reason that you don't need to be. And like,
No,
what?
no,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no. It's so strange. Like the men are like as physically powerful as they are, they're treated like pawns in within the
Hmm.
herd. Like all the women have the leadership positions, and I will admit that is refreshing.
Sure. Yeah.
But on the other hand, part of me was like, is it the misogynist in me being like that makes them unattractive to me?
Yeah. Exactly. I thought that too. Like, because like, even, but I don't know, because like, I think there's like nuance to it where it's like, okay, in like a world where the men are in charge, you still have like, I don't know, well actually I don't know what I'm talking about, but like they would have thoughts and feelings about it, and they
Yeah,
don't know their thoughts and feelings about it, and or we don't know their thoughts and feelings about it. So it's almost like, as like, I don't know if there was a level of disconnect, I think, and
hmm,
maybe if it were the other way around, just based on the narratives that we've been fed, we would have been like, oh well, yeah, they're female, they're, of course they're not going to be, they're mad, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't need to
yeah,
like kind of paint, like kind of like read between the lines a little bit. I don't know, I'm not
yeah,
sure, but it's a
because
good
it
question.
yeah because like Lori's like confessing to killing the grandfather and the grandmother who was the head mayor,
Hmm.
and I mean I guess Black was already in the process of fighting her, but
Yeah, but like, it's like, well then, okay, she just confessed to murdering someone, there were witnesses, easily you could call like get her, you know what I mean, like you have what
yeah,
you need
you
to
committed
arrest
a
her.
crime. You committed
Yeah,
a
like,
crime.
horse or not, lady, like you killed two people,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people will corroborate, you will find the bodies, like it was like it's all there, and then they're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh no, what are we gonna do about her? Like,
Well, it's just so funny because they're like, well, she's screwed either way because she's going to require pins in her legs, and if she transforms, it's going to rip the pins out. And I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, that sucks, but I still don't think she should be out walking these streets.
No, she's a murderer. They're just
Yeah,
giving her. They're basically being like, okay, if like this is her choice. She's either gonna stay a horse and has to like have terrible pain, or she's gonna have surgery and have like minor pain. But she's still allowed to get a job and vote and like
yeah. No, no, she could
not
do.
be a felon.
This person could go on the internet and do worlds of damage.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
She
actually,
got real good.
she's crazy. She's evil. I mean, granted, she's very bad at all the things she does, but
Yeah, she will fail. She will fail.
yeah,
But
she will
still,
get
it's
caught, but
like
she still killed people.
she still killed people, and she needs to, like, she's still, even though like dumb people can be dangerous,
Oh,
dumb,
absolutely.
and a dumb danger is still a danger, and
Yeah.
you gotta lock it up.
Yeah, like she's so fit. She's a threat.
She's like, her boobs are so perfect, she's threatening. Like,
They're
that's what it was.
going straight up.
They
She's
like
so
this.
fit.
They, when she's like laughing, and they describe her boobs as like bouncing up and down, and I'm like,
Mhm.
my boobs have never done that.
I mean, like maybe she's wearing some sort of I don't even know what. I was gonna say a bustier that like pushes them up Renaissance style.
Yeah. I was like,
Maybe.
because like, how like there's certain like like surgeries you could get that like does do that, and I'm like, well then she must have had that surgery, because like no one bobs like that.
No, no, no. I question. I was like the lady that wrote this. I was like, have you seen this? And if so,
Yeah.
How did this work?
Yeah, I'm just like, what does she look like?
Yeah.
But that said, I really didn't. I really like enjoyed the horniness of this book. It was exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to ask you for your final thoughts and a rating.
Hmm.
So anything that you wanted to say that you didn't get to say, any other like final thoughts, anything that like, it made you feel, and then rate in terms of like enjoyability. We're gonna rate it. I was thinking we could rate it in I actually no, yes, Ivy Jane's. Ivy Jane's is the name of the little baby horse that he delivers. So one
Oh
out of
my God.
five, 1 out of 5 Ivy Jane's means you didn't like it. 5 out of 5 Ivy Jane's means you loved it. Just rate based on how much fun you had.
Um, this book went down smooth, I gotta say.
Yes.
I like
Mm-hmm.
zipped through it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I zipped through it, so I gotta give it like as flawed and as like crazy as it was. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, because this book says it's one of part of a series of like the monster mates for
Yes.
monsters, and I'm like, I might check out other ones.
Yes. I read the mermaid one. That was really good. Like that one I thought was great. It was very horny too.
So I want to give it a 4.5.
Ooh. Four horses and a half horse. I love it.
Yeah,
Four
so
four horses and a pony.
four horses and a centaur. How's that?
Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. Four horses and a black. I'm gonna actually give it the same thing because like I did have like the thoughts that you had, like some of the criticisms that I had of like just the way that the characters were fleshed out, but like
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I thought it was an interesting world. I had a lot of fun, and it was just like it had like the right amount of horniness
Mm-hmm.
to story ratio for something like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I read it in a day. I loved it. I really
Oh
like
yeah.
this was a fun read.
It was super fun. Um, it yeah, like there's so many interesting choices.
Yes.
Like the fact that no one knows what centaurs are, the fact that the females are in charge of the herd, the fact that no female has ever had a friend in this universe
Yes.
is so
Yes.
it's fascinating. It is fascinating.
I completely agree with you. Like, I feel like it's interesting. It's like, oh, our one criticism is like, oh, like I wish this just could be longer. Like, I want to read another book in this Montana world with of the herd of
Yeah,
the herd.
yeah. Like, who are these realtors who are just like later?
Yeah, and it's
I'll be
like,
back.
yeah, it's like man, I had the craziest day, honey. I just like had to go to this farm and there was like a horse fight, but then like now I'm here. Ooh, burgers, nice. Like
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. A lady came out screaming that she actually wanted to keep it, so I was like, cool, and I pulled in reverse and I peeled out of
Yeah,
there.
like someone was running for her life, but she's like,
Yeah,
but she decided to keep the farm. So, I did my job.
yeah, yeah. I don't hear emotion, by the way, so I hope that worked out okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, that was so insane.
I loved it.
God,
I
imagine
loved
the
it.
follow up emo from that realtor.
Yeah. And it's just like, hey, I just wanted to double check. Like, when you say you're keeping it, like, that's binding. Even if you're running for your life, if you're just telling
Yeah,
me you're keeping it,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's in blood. And she's like, I know. And yeah.
yeah, yeah. Just so we're clear, and I am not legally liable for having driven off.
Yeah.
Oh, what fun.
What fun. Well, Connor, thank you so much for returning to the show. This was so much fun.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
If you like today's episode and want to support the show, consider becoming a subscriber to the TSTL podcast on Substack at tstlpodcast.substack.com. There are both free and paid subscriptions. Paid subscriptions allows you to access TSTL episodes ad-free via Substack, and you can even watch them if you're more of like a visual listener. And if you didn't like today's episode, why did you listen all the way to the end? Unless you secretly did like today's episode. Too Stupid to Live is part of the Culture Podcast Network. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a herd like rest of your day.